Hello, welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic and a Fog of War puzzle. This looks amazing, called Fogtorization by Kaktuslav. Now, this puzzle has been recommended to us a lot over the last few days. Apparently, it is absolutely wonderful, and what a day this is to bring you a Kaktuslav puzzle, because it is Kaktuslav's birthday today. Many happy returns. I know it's your birthday because your friend Piotr wrote to us and said that, well, actually, just lovely, said that how pleased you've been that we've discovered your puzzles, Kaktuslav, and we've started to showcase them on Cracking the Cryptic. I can tell you it is our great honour and pleasure. I mean, the Sudoku community is blessed with the most unbelievable minds. But there's always something really rather wonderful about when a new constructor emerges on the scene, and your puzzles have just been a great joy. In fact, most recently, when did we see it? Emily and I solved one of Kaktuslav's puzzles last Thursday on the channel. If you haven't seen that puzzle, it's called Blue Frame, and it's absolutely brilliant. And so, well, that was the last Kaktuslav puzzle. Today we've got a new one. We've got, you can see these ones. I think that the yellow cages, which have timeses in them, they've all got to multiply to the same total, and the pluses all have to sum to the same total. So the sum of those is the same as the sum of these. It's just a great idea. It really is. I think 3 stars out of 5. If I'm not mistaken, over on Logic Masters Germany. And yeah, this is going to be our job for today, but I'll read the rules properly in a moment or two's time. We had to do Kaktuslav's happy birthday first, of course. What else can I tell you about? Oh, we've got a brand new Sudoku hunt competition coming in on the 1st of September. Blobs themed, no doubt. Blobs is Back to the Future themed Sudoku. I mustn't say any more about that. Well, there'll be more later in the week about that. Listener crossword videos are coming out starting on Wednesday. There are a lot of them. We're going to release 2 a day over a period of time. So if you're interested in cryptic crossword solving, that might be something you should check out. Be over on Patreon on Wednesday. And Stratford, yeah. Mark and I are doing a live edition of Cracking the Cryptic on Sunday the 2nd of November. As part of the Stratford Upon Avon Literary Festival. Love to see you. We did it last year. It was a great deal of fun, so maybe some of you might like to come this year as well. Yeah, details there and details underneath the video for anyone interested. And anything else I need to say, there probably is. Oh, one more birthday. Let me do that. Ludwig, it's your birthday today. And I know this because your twin Georg wrote to us. Well, so it's both of your birthdays, of course. So happy birthday to you both. Over there in Berlin, I think. At least that's where I think you hail from. I'm not sure if you're both there today, because Georg's email told me that this year will be the first time that you've not been in the same place for your birthday. And Georg thought it would be rather a nice thing to get a shout out on the channel. I hope that's true. And Ludwig, I hope I'm saying that correctly, Ludwig, because it could be Ludwig. I'd probably say Ludwig, but I think Georg's email said I had to say Ludwig. I don't mean to butcher any pronunciations, I really don't, but I hope the two of you have an absolutely brilliant birthday today, of course, with a large amount of heavily iced chocolate cake. That's all the news. I've probably forgotten something. Almost certainly have. But never mind. Let's crack on and look at the rules of Fogtorization by Kaktuslav. Now I can't even say Kaktuslav's name. Kaktuslav. The rules are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. All blue plus cages have the same sum. All yellow X cages have the same product. Both constants are to be determined by the solver. Digits may repeat within a cage if allowed by Sudoku. Well, certainly none of these None of these cages can have repeated digits in it, but apparently we can repeat digits in a cage in this puzzle, if so allowed. The grid is partially covered in fog. Entering correct digits may clear the fog from somewhere in the grid. Usually a correct entry will clear its own cell, but not always. Some fog is extra dense. No guessing is required. I love these fog of war puzzles. If you've not seen them before, they're so cool, because, you know, sometimes it can be a bit daunting in a variant Sudoku to know where to look, but with fog of war we know it's got to be something that we can see. So there are actually only 21 cells here that we can see rather than the normal 81, so we have no excuse at all. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So I say let's get cracking. Let's think this through. Okay, I've got nothing better than this, so I'm going to say it. I'm going to start off by thinking about prime numbers. Sorry if this is too obvious, but they've got two different cages in box 1. So can't I immediately take out digits like 5 is prime? I.e. it's not only is it prime, but there's no other factor of 5 that is a Sudoku digit. 10 is not a Sudoku digit. So I don't think it's possible to write 5 into either of those, because imagine this was, I'm going to put 5 in, I'm so confident it's wrong, so it's not going to clear fog. If this was 5, whatever this multiplied to, that couldn't multiply it to it as well, because this has to have that prime factor 5 within its factors. And it couldn't do, because we can't write 10 into it or another 5 by Sudoku. So surely I can do that logic with 5 and with 7 and say that these have to include 5 and 7. That's where I'm going to start. So now I'm wondering, okay, so now what we should do, well, now we're going to be constrained, I think, a little bit by the plus, the 2-cell plussy thing down here, which can only, imagine that was as big as it could be. It would be 17, wouldn't it? We've already got 12 over here. So the minimum third digit would be a 1, which takes us to 13. So we can't have a digit higher than 4 as the fourth digit. Which already feels very strange, doesn't it? So we've got to have in the yellow squares the digits 6, 8 and 9. And okay, let me just try and explain the sorts of things I'm thinking about here. 3 has to be over here now. Let's talk, and forgive me, I know many of you are brilliant mathematicians, far better than I will ever be. Sorry, what's this? I can't deal with that. Actually, I will just have to text. Sorry. I do actually just have to deal with that. Okay, there we go. Sorry. now I'll get back to it. The way my brain thinks about numbers in this sort of puzzle is in the context of prime factors. So we can think of numbers as molecules. And those molecules are built up from their fundamental blocks, which are the prime factors. So think of a number like 36. 36, how do you build it up? Well, you can divide it by 2, you get 18. You can divide it by 2 again, you get 9. And 9 is 3 times 3. So the prime factors of 36 are 2, 2, 3, 3. And therefore, if we were multiplying to the number 36, which we might be here, no, my brain isn't clever enough to work out whether that's correct or not. Probably not. Actually, hang on. No, probably not. But if we knew we were multiplying to 36, that would mean that each of these yellow cages had to contain digits that have exactly those factors, 2, 2, 3, 3, and it can have any number of ones as well, obviously, as well. So you could have a 1 in here. You could have 1, 4, 9. That would work. Now, so that's how I'm thinking about the numbers. Now, let's look at the collection of yellow numbers we've now got in yellow. We've definitely got a 9. Which is 2 factors of 3. It's 3 times 3. We've definitely got a 6, which is 1 factor of 3 and 1 factor of 2. But how are we going to balance these out? Well, the problem is that there's 3 factors of 3 in yellow at the moment. We can't divide those evenly between 2 different yellow cages. We need an even number of those factors of 3. So there must also be a 3 in here. There must. So what we're going to find is that, well, okay, and now I want to say that we have to put 9 in here. Because if we didn't put 9 in here, in the 2-cell cage, and we put 9 in here, then in order for the 3 factors to balance, you'd have to put 3 and 6 in this one. And 3 times 6 is 18. But there's got to be an 8 factor in here. This would be 8 times 9 times something else, and it's never going to balance. So I think the first thing we can say here is that 9 is in the small cage, and 3 and 6 are not. But let's now shift our attention to 2 factors of 2. There is an 8 in this cage. In those 5 cells, there's definitely an 8. And 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, and there is a 6, which is just 2. So that is an even number of 2 factors, isn't it? But whichever cage has the 8 in it, the point is, if you put the 6 and the 8 in different yellows, the 2 factors are not evenly distributed. So there must be something. There must be another number in here that's going to allow us to equalize the distribution of the 2 factors between the 2 yellow cages. And now I can see that must be 4. So the only way we can equate, let's call it equate, the 2 factors is by introducing 4 into this, and now whichever cage has the 8 in it can be balanced on the other side by the 6 and the 4. The 6 has 1 2 factor in it, it's 2 times 3, and the 4 has 2 2 factors in it because it's 2 times 2. And now we've lucked into the answer, haven't we? The only way this can work is if this is 3 6 4 and this is 8 9. So in the 8 9 we've got 2 factors of 3 and 3 factors of 2, and in the 3 4 6 we've got 2 factors of 3 in the 3 and the 6, and 3 factors of 2, 2 in the 4 and 1 in the 6, and that's how it must work. There we go. And now we're going to, by default, by default, we're going to get the, what other, well, 1 has to be there. Oh, it's 1 and 2, actually. 1 2 5 7, which is 12 15. So 15. So all the pluses have to add to 15. So that's got to be either 6 9 or 7 8. We haven't actually cleared any fog yet. We haven't actually got any digits yet. And 72 is what we're multiplying to. So the 3 digits here, which have to add up. Yeah, there's a secret we can avail ourselves of here. I don't know how helpful the secret's going to be, but let's talk about it. The secret of Sudoku is something I share with only my very favourite people. And if you're watching this video still, you're definitely one of my favourite people. The secret of Sudoku is that a complete box of a Sudoku, because of the rules of Sudoku, will contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. And 1 to 9 sum to 45. So I know that the digits in this box sum to 45, but I also know now that these 4 plus these 2, these 6 digits add up to 30, because that's 15 and that's 15. So these 3 digits here have to multiply to 72 which is even, and they have to do that using digits that sum to 15. So yeah, so how are we going to do that? That's the question. And the answer is, I don't immediately know. Although, we can do the same sort of trick again, can't we here? What we can say is that 5 and 7 have no role to play. Whenever we see yellows in this puzzle, we can immediately in our minds cast aside the possibility of 5 and 7 being included. So 5 must be in this string. That's forced. Now, 7 could be in there if that was 7, 8. But then this would have to be... No, that doesn't work, does it? Unless both of these are 3, 4, 6. Maybe that's putting some sort of pressure on this. Maybe, oh, hang on, I might have to, I'm suddenly having to consider thinking much harder about this. How do we do this then? Obviously, because 72 is even, in here I've got to get 2 factors of 3 and 3 factors of 2. So what won't work is 189. Because although that does work mathematically, it breaks this 15 cage. Because neither 87 nor 96 would be possible. So we actually know that there is no 1 in this cage, so the 1 has to shift into the plus cage here. So now we've got 2 digits in here that sum to 6. And the other 2 digits in here are going to sum to 9. And they're not going to be 1, 8. And they're not going to be 4, 5. And if they're not going to be 4, 5, 4 has to be in yellow. And that means that the other digits in here have to multiply to 18. And they are either 3 and 6, or they're 2 and 9. And is there some way that we know which of those is possible? So, yeah, so this... Okay, and the digits in here that add up to 9, with the 1 and the 5, are either 2, 7... or 3, 6. Yeah, no, yeah, okay. So the critical thing here now is where's 8? Now 8 can't go in here. There'd be too many factors of 2. So an 8 can't go in here because it would need to be accompanied with a 1. So this has to be 7, 8. And now you can't put 2 in here. here, because you'd need to put 7 in with it. So 2 goes down here, where it must accompany 8, 9. So this is 2, 4, 9. This is very clever. 2, 4, 9. This is 1, 5, 3, 6. And if this is 2, 4, 9, okay, so now this one, which also has to multiply up to 72, has no 4 in it. But it's got to have, yeah, okay, so it must have 8 in it. How do I know that? Well, it's because we need these 3 factors of 2. And once 4 isn't available, which is 2 times 2, how do we get 3 factors of 2? 2 itself only delivers 1 factor of 2, and 6 only delivers 1 factor of 2. So there must be 8 in here, and then 2 digits that multiply to 9. But we can't use double 3, so we must use. So this is 189, I think. Is what and that's done it. Right, that's given us a digit. This has to be 1, I think. That has to be 9. That has to be 8. Oh, thank goodness for that. These ones with the dynamic fog, where they delay the delivery of the fog clearance, are slightly terrifying. Let's just think about this for a moment. That can't be 1. I mean, it must be this, mustn't it? What have we got in the row? Yeah, we're going to be able to work out this digit, because in the row we've got 3, 5, 6, 7 left to place, and we need those 3 to add up to 15, and all the digits together add up to 21. So we have to miss out a 6. Oh my goodness me, that was great. So we've done that. We've missed out 6. We've got, okay, that cage does have to have a repeated digit in it, because this is a 6-cell cage. Now the triangular number for 6, i.e. what's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, is 21. But this cage only sums up to 15. So there's got to be some repeatage going on, possibly more than one repeatage. Oh, wow, where do we think we look next? Well, I'll tell you what we might be able to do. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's 8, 9 in this column, actually. Because, can you really put 8 or 9 here? No, you can't. This is an 8, 9 pair in column 3. The way I'm doing that is basically Sudoku and asking whether this can be 8, 9. But it can't be, because these 4 digits are definitively different. They're all in the same box of the Sudoku. So the minimum sum of these is 10. Now these two, therefore, have a maximum sum of 5. So in fact, these have to be from 1, 2, 3, 4. This one can't be 1, because there's a 1 up here. So this one can't be 4 anymore, because then these would add up to at least 6 if this one was a 4. And okay, and the absolute minimum sum then of these two cells is 3, which means the absolute maximum sum of these cells is 12, which means these definitely include 1 and 2. And the reason we know that is the ways of getting to 12 in Sudoku are 1, 2, 3, 6 and 1, 2, 4, 5. There are only 2 of them. Don't know quite what to do with that. It's not those, is it? They're now at least a 3 and a 4. Which would be 12. And what we've got 72, isn't it? 72 is the multiplication of the yellows, and these are at least multiplying to 12. So that's quite interesting. So the maximum those 3 digits can multiply to, that's these 3 here, is 6. So at least one of them is a 1. Don't know actually. Okay. If that was 3, 4, this would be 2, 5, 6. No. Okay, that can't be 3, 4. Because if that domino was 3, 4, what are we putting in here? The minimum now is 1, 2, 5, 6. And I think that's 14. It's way too... Yeah, the ways I got to 12, they all involve a 3 or a 4. So, and in fact, if you take 3 and 4 away, this just blows the total. We can't keep this total down. So these are not 3 and 4. They're bigger. Now, so, okay, so if this isn't if this isn't 3, 4, what is it? It can't be 3, 6 because there's a 6 looking at that domino. So the absolute minimum these two multiply to, I want to say, is 3, 8. Which is 24. I mean, if you don't include a 3 there, you've then got to include a 4, and you can't have a 6. 4, 8 is obviously bigger than 3 times 8. Yeah, I think 24... Right, so the minimum of these is 24 now. And therefore, the maximum that those 3 multiply to is 3. That's the maximum they multiply to. But these two have to be different. I can't put 1 into all of them, for example. So the minimum these could be would be 1 and 2, which is 2. The next they could be is 1 and 3, which is 3, and they cannot be any bigger than that. There must be a 1 in there, and this must be a 1. Otherwise, because if that's a 2 and then this is a 1-2 pair, we're multiplying 3 and 8 at least by 4, which is too much. So this is a 1. That's going to clear fog. Yes. Okay, that made sense. I sort of expected that to clear fog, and then it did. And we don't know what this is. This is either, if this is a 1-2 pair, these have to multiply to 36 then, so they'd have to be 4, 9. So it's either a 4, 9 pair here, or if this is 3, these have to multiply to 24 without using 6, so they have to be 3, 8. But that means that this... No, maybe it doesn't actually. Maybe what I was about to say is nonsense. I'm not sure. I was wondering if somehow the fact that 3 or 4 is definitely being hypothecated. Yeah, hang on. There is a point here, isn't there? What's the minimum sum of these now? If 1, 2, 3, 5 is the minimum, and that would be if there was a 4 here rather than a 3. So 1, 2, 3, 5 is 15, which means the maximum sum of these is 4. So we can take 4 out of this one. And if this is 3, it gets too big, because this is at least 2. So this has come right down, and this has come right down. And now, presumably, I can look at this and do something remotely sensible. We know these add up to 15. 15 add 18 is 33, which means by the secret these two squares add up to 12. Well, we can't put 3 here then, because this would be a 9. So this is 5 or 7, which means this is 5 or 7, because there's definitely a 5 and a 7 in there. This is 5 or 7, because these add up to 12. And that's going to yield the following incredibly important result. Come on, brain. Think of the result. What is it doing? Well, these squares are now 2, 3, 4, 6. That does add up to 15, so that makes sense. And we know there's a 2 in there, so there's no 2 there. Oh, hang on, that's a point. That's interesting. Yeah, that's important, isn't it? Because there is a 2 in this string, that is definitely a 3, and that's actually not what I was expecting. Because now I think this box is completely forced. Because we couldn't make these add up to as much as 5. Because we know that this cannot include 3 and 4, so this has to be 1. It's not clearing fog, which is slightly worrying, but I think this has to be 1, 2, 3, 5 now. It's the only thing it can be, because 3 or 4 is in here. So this has now got 4 in it. Yeah, I was just pausing there because I was thinking, does 4, 8 work? But 4, 8 doesn't work, because that's going to get us to 32, and there's nothing we can multiply 32 by that gets us to the right. Yeah, 4, 8 is obviously wrong. There's too many factors of 2 in the multiplication. So this is 4, 9, giving us 36. This is 1, 2, making the whole cage multiply to a good total. 1 is not in those cells, so 1 is in this domino. 3 is not in those cells. Oh, I see. So where's 3 in row 6? This might clear fog. Well, it did, but only there. Only in a very small area. Okay. These can't... Oh, this is not 2 or 3, is it, by Sudoku? I think I could have done that before. This is a 4, 6 pair. Is that helpful? Where are 1 and 2 in column 1? They can't go there, so that's got to be a 1, 2 pair. So this is 5 or 7. And this is a 1. That might clear... Oh no, I thought that might clear fog. 3, 5, 6 here. So this is a 4. This is a 6. This is a 2. This is a 3. It's still being recalcitrant. This is now 7. That was right. Okay, that is a relief. So this is 5. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what they call the bank shot. That's what we needed there. What pinball game was that? That's what they call the bank shot. I can't remember. I used to enjoy playing it at university when I should have been studying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 into these squares. 4, 6, 7. Don't seem to be able to do that. There's a 1, 2, 5 triple. Oh, that's quite good. There's a 1, 2, 5 triple in row 5. So the 5 of that 1, 2, 5 triple is in here. So we can take 5 out of those, look. And now there's a 1, 2, 3 triple in this row, which apparently does nothing, oddly. Okay, what we these two cells, they're an 8, 9 pair by Sudoku. These squares are 2, 4, 5 by Sudoku. That can't be a 4. And we've got a new cage up here that's got to multiply to 36. Yeah, but we can't... Well, we know we can't put 7 and 5 in this. I know I've been like a broken record on that point, but that is true. So 7 is definitely in one of those cells in the column. I mean, actually a lot of the factors we would like to put in this, we can't put in, can we? Yeah, hang on. Okay, yeah, so we can pop 8 in there. So yeah, so these digits are from 2, 3 and 8. 5 and 7 can never go in here. So these are from 2, 3 and 8, the only remaining digits that are not 1, 4, 9 or 6 that are factors of the number that we need and can by Sudoku go into these cells. Now, but that digit is not a 1. So hang on a moment. Can we do something with that? I mean, if these are 2 and 3, that's 6, isn't it? So these would have to multiply to 12. Yeah, I mean, here's a very minor, very silly point, but I'm going to make it. Because none of these digits, none of these 3 digits in box 2 can be a 1, the minimum they can be is 2, 3, 4. And 2 times 3 times 4 is 24, which means the maximum this can be is 3, because 24 times 3 is the 72 we're looking for. So that is a 1, 2, or a 3, definitely. And the only way this is 3 is if this is a 2, 3 pair and this is a 4. And if this is... Well, it can't be 2 times 8, can it? Because that's got too many factors of 3 in it. So there is definitely... Oh, that's the point. There's definitely a 3 in here. Definitely. Oh, but wait. Oh, that's beautiful. That's really clever. Kaktuslav gets me again. Right. So now I'm starting to think about factors of 2. Imagine this was 3, 8. The point there is, what on earth do you put into this cell? That's beautiful. If it's 3, 8 here, we've used all our factors of 2. There's only 3 factors of 2 in the number 72, so we can't use any more factors of 2. So this can't be a 2, it can't be a 4, can't be a 6. Well, what's it going to be then? It can't be a 1, so it's got to be a factor of 3 digit that's not a 3. Well, that means it's 9, and now I've got too many factors of 3 because I've got 2 there and 1 here. So this is 2, 3. That is very, very... It is weird but lovely. Right, that's a 5. Oh, that's another reveal we've got from that. Right, okay, so what are those digits then? They are 7 and 8, aren't they? Oh, this is really good as well. Right, look at this domino. That adds up to 15, and it's not 7, 8. So that's 6, 9. That's going to get me digits. That's 9. That's 8. That didn't seem to do very much. I mean, this must be it must be very constrained now. He says, well, can we... Is it something to do with 5 is what I'm wondering. I mean, 5 has to be in that domino in box 2. It cannot be in the yellow cells. If that's an 8, this has to be a 5, 7 pair. And then this would be a 4. Yeah, I mean, what is this digit? Maybe that's the way to approach it. 1, 2, 3. It can be 4. Can't be 5, can't be 6, can't be 7. It's 4 or 8, but it can't be 8. There'd be too many factors of 2. So that is 4. This is 3. That's 3, and it's not clearing fog. I might have made an error there. That's a 3. This one is a 4. That's a 6. That's a 6. That's a 9. I think it was logical what I did, but that might be famous last words. 2, 5. Nothing is clearing, is it? Bobbins. 3, 7. These squares here are a 1, 2 pair now. And in this column, we've not put 5 yet. So, that was correct. And that was correct. 8, 7. This digit here seems to have to be an 8 by Sudoku. That digit's got to be a 6. 7 here means this is a 4. 4, 9, 8, 9. Okay, I mean, we haven't demonstrably found an error in our logic yet. That doesn't mean there are... Well, I don't know. So maybe... I mean, I felt like what I did was logical, so hopefully it was logical, and it's just being... it's the usual recalcitrance about the dynamic fog lacking clearing potential. That's a 3 by Sudoku. Oh, look, that's a weird, like, 1, 2 deadly pattern. The only way that can be resolved, I think, is by there being something under here that's not just white cells. Because imagine these were just white cells. How would you resolve which way round these 1s and 2s went? They could go either way round and the puzzle wouldn't break. You'd still end up with a 1 in this row, a 1 in this row, a 2 in this row, a 2 in this row, and a 1, 2 pair in both boxes. So there must be something under the fog there that's going to fix things. I'm going to just check this row, I think. What do we need in there? 1, 5, 7. That isn't a 1. Okay, that was not the row. That was where we're going to get all the goodies from. This is 1, 2, 7, 8. Is that going to be helpful? And again, we can take the 1 out of the corner. Oh, 7 here. That's a 2. Sorry. Oh my goodness. My goodness, look at that. That is a huge deal. Yeah, okay, so these have to add up to 15. So that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 2. These have to be, well, they have to be 8, 9. We've got to multiply 2 digits to get to 72. We already understand how that works. So this has got to be 6 or 7. Okay, what do we need in this row now then? 4, 9, and 6. Well, there must be a 4 in here, otherwise, because this is not multiplication, this is addition. 9 plus 6 plus anything is more than 15. So that's definitely not a 4. So 4 plus 9 is 13. This would be a 2, which doesn't work. So this is 4, 6 with 5 to make 15. That's a 9. The 5, is that? Yeah, where's 5 in row 2? That we can do that. Oh no. Well, hang on, how's that wrong? That must be right. That must be a mean anti-fog mechanic. And the 5 puts that 5 in. That's a 6. That's a 6. That's a 4. That's not 4 anymore. Now, what do we need? We need... Oh, where's 4 in box 6? Is a very reasonable question. I can write it in. So that's a 4. I keep hoping it's going to clear the fog. That's 6 or 7. And it's 7 then. So that's 6. That's 6. That's 7. This is not 7. There's something in the fog here, isn't there? But what? 2, 8, 9 in that column. Is this 1, 2 pair done? Well, no, but that 9, 2 pair is done, so that's done. That's done. Oh, where's 2 in box? 2's in the corner. No, it's not. Well, it might be, but it didn't clear anything. That's 9. That's 8. Oh. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, so the puzzle, we know the secrets of the puzzle. The sum is 15. The product is 72. So this is an 8. Oh, that's lovely. What a lovely finish. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. That is a beautiful puzzle. Oh goodness. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy puzzles like that, where we're thinking about the building blocks of numbers and working them through in our minds, and I don't know how. Maybe I did that in an obtuse way. I didn't mean to, but my brain got fixated on prime factors in box 1 very quickly, and it's just a beautiful puzzle. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And happy birthday, Kaktuslav, and thank you for another absolute worldie. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.